Today I would like to walk through a space that I'm thinking about redoing. As you may know, I have a lot of kids that have moved out, and I am working on redoing their rooms to make them beautiful guest rooms. So there's a lot to consider. The space used to be 2 different rooms, and a wall was taken out in the middle. It actually was one of the selling points when we bought the house. It was one of the last rooms that I looked at when I was doing the tour. And I walked in and I thought, oh my goodness, it looks like a little schoolroom. And we were homeschooling back in the day. And so it was our schoolroom. For many years, it was our schoolroom. And then as the kids got into junior high and high school, I kind of absorbed that room, and we ended up having 3 girls in this space that was one room with kind of a suite to it, not very big, and it has a very attic-y feel, meaning the ceilings are slanted on both sides of the room. We redid the schoolroom side for my daughter when she was 15. It's what she wanted for her 15th birthday gift. And she loved horses, wanted a bohemian theme. And so we put this faux brick on the walls. We did a lot of thrifting and really made it into a cute little space. It's not very big. I'm standing in the opening between the 2 rooms as I'm showing you this side of the room. But we took pallets and made her a cute little bed. We thrifted bedding. The house came with these built-ins. They're not really that fancy looking, but they did serve a purpose. And so I wanted to update them by adding this just wood contact paper. I made the pillow on the bed with the pom-poms. I made each of those pom-poms, and I thought it was so cute at the time, but then they shedded really badly. And so I ended up not keeping that pillow cover. But another thing I did to update the built-ins was to add T-bar pulls to give it a little bit more of a modern look. I made a little curtain to match the throw pillow and created a desk area for her. We got a little lamp, got some plants. It really was a sweet little makeover. We had 2 chairs that were given to us, and I stripped down the wood and then added green fabric on them and trim and just, all the little touches to try to make the room look more like her. And she collected and sold and painted and customized these horses. So we had a collection to style up. And then I found an old art book. I think it was $2 at a garage sale. And I just loved the sketchiness of all of the pages. And so I took it apart. You can find these books on Etsy with all different types of subjects. But I used that to wallpaper this little accent wall. Everything was pretty inexpensive and just kind of the right touches. And that is the way the room stayed for a long time. All right, I had originally had this thought that I was gonna get this room done before Christmas. We were gonna come in here, it was gonna be a weekend warrior project. It was gonna look amazing. And I was gonna have this amazing guest room for my kids when they come home for Christmas. But, of course, as I'm doing my research and I'm getting clearer on what I want this space to be, it is not gonna be one weekend, not gonna be done by Christmas. But that's okay, because we are gonna shift gears here. On November 1st, we are starting Handmade Holidays. We did it last year. I just threw something together. People went nuts. They loved it. They're begging for me to do it again this year. And now I have a lot better idea of how I want it to go. This is 6 weeks where I walk you through the decorating process of getting your home ready on time for Christmas, so that you actually have time to be involved in your community, in your church, in your kids' activities in December, instead of stressing that you don't have everything beautiful the way you wanted it to be, and doggone it, it's just like last year, I didn't get it all done, and you feel guilty about it. that was the idea behind creating Handmade Holidays, is I would help women get ready on time and love their spaces. And so there's a lot of DIY. There are, of course, an eye on the trends going on. I take you through 9 different stores and talk about what is good there, what's not good there. I keep you on track so that you can have a beautiful home for hosting this year. So if you want to join me, sign up. You got to get on the wait list. I put the link in the description below. It's called Handmade Holidays. I will send you all the details once we are live. All right, now let's take a look at the other side of the room. This is Abby's side, Abby and Chloe's side, actually. And this was originally the girls' side of the room. It was a very princessy look. As you can see, it was a dream room that I put together. Everything was pink and white and flowery and just very feminine and sweet. And it stayed that way for a long time. So Madeline's side was redone first, and then Abby's was for her, it wasn't her birthday. She was 19, and it was in the middle of COVID. So she wasn't going to be able to go away for college. She did her schooling online. And I'd always dreamed, she's my firstborn, so I'd always dreamed of designing a dorm room, but then that wasn't going to happen. So that was sort of my inspiration with redoing this half of the room, was a beautiful dorm room and something that was special for her because she ended up having to do everything online. Now, I had parameters. So our styles are not the same at all with actually any of my children, but I think it's fun. I love that about kids' spaces. They don't have to match the house. They can just be anything. And so she said, I want English cottage meets modern. Okay, so those are my parameters. She loved orange. She said, I want foxes, birds, and butterflies. I don't want any flowers, and I don't want any pink, which is a little bit difficult because, of course, her sister's space right across was all of those things. First of all, we decided we're going to paint the room white, get rid of the pink walls. I repeated the idea that was on the opposite side of the room with those faux bricks. And I loved how the bedding came out. I mismatched different sheets. I ended up having to make the duvet cover, and we got it done. And the fun part about this was I recorded the reveal with her, and she had never seen it. She knew we were working in there. I made her sleep in another part of the house while we did it. And then she came in, and this was her reaction. She was so grateful, and it was so fun. We had her record player playing, and it smelled really good, and it was a fun moment. She loves candles. We gave her a bulletin board where she could display her artwork and things that were special to her. Actually, I made the hanging plants from faux greenery from Hobby Lobby, but the pots and the hangers I found on Amazon, and they all came together. And she just explored her little corner of the world and really loved it. The rooms are so cozy. I will say that. They're very sweet, very secluded feeling. They're up on, the back side of the house, and they have a lot of really good parts to them. They're also the parts that I don't like about them. So that's kind of what I want to talk about with these attic spaces is you've got slanted ceilings, awkward angles, storage issues in spaces like this. They're very small, so you have like no options with trying to get beds in these spaces. Also, they're incredibly cozy. And those angled ceilings just look amazing with wallpaper. The small floor print means you could put maybe even a really nice wall-to-wall carpet. I'm actually considering doing like a seagrass on the floors. But anyway, this is where we're at today. So that was all like catching you up on the history of this little room setup. But this is what we have now. So the bed was left. It looks really bare. A lot of these things were just stripped down when the girls moved out. And it's kind of dirty. The walls, it's amazing. Like you take pictures, like they took mirrors off the walls and they're like gray. Like, how does that even happen? So we still have the trundle bed. I got this really cool clothing rack that's on wheels that I actually want to use it still. I mean, we have that little built-in closet with the original beadboard, but I do like the clothing rack. I just think it's cute. And then, of course, the other side of the room, stuff was left on the shelves. One of the girls tried to rip the brick off of Madeline's side of the room and didn't do a very good job. And so I have to figure out how to get all the sticky off the wall. Of course, the bulletin board is still left. It's nailed to the door, so she couldn't take it with her. I need to get it off carefully, not break it. Anyway, I still really love the space. My idea is that I think a full-size bed in here on the one side. So like a sleeping quarters and then more of a sitting room and a desk on the other side, which makes me think it's time for me to take the built-ins out. They're not high quality. I appreciate what the previous owners were thinking. I think that it is a good use of space. It served us well for many, many years. And I think that I actually may want to redesign it and just make it higher quality. I love the idea of storage. In fact, in an upcoming video, I'm going to share a bunch of really great pictures of storage solutions in these attic spaces. They're so inspiring. I actually don't need a ton of storage. You know, if it's going to be a guest room at this point, I don't need the storage. What I want to do is get rid of the baseboard heater on this side of the room because think about it. I've got one wall that's all open. I've got another wall that has weird angles and built-ins. Another wall has low ceilings, and then the fourth wall has a window and a baseboard heater. So where do you put a bed comfortably? So I think if I took the baseboard heater out and I took the built-ins out and I put a fireplace, it'd have to be electric fireplace where the built-ins are, that could be my heat source. That would look very charming if I had sleeping quarters on that side of the room. And so that's the direction I'm going. And then on this other side, Abby's side, I would do, I think, a really beautiful, very symmetrical looking desk in front of the window and get back to the idea of the two sconces on either side of the window. So I've been looking for beds online on Facebook Marketplace, and I found this one bed on OfferUp, but it was in Habitat for Humanity, which I have kind of forgotten about this store. I feel like it hasn't been in my regular rotation for a long time, and it is a really good place. If you have one near you, I think you should pop in regularly and just see what they have. I love that there's no clothes, you know, it's a concentration of construction supplies and furniture and art, and it's just home decor, basically. Of course, not all of it is good, but you know, even brand new stores, not everything is good. So you're going to have to be a declutterer anyway. So, and the prices aren't always amazing, but the one that I came in to look at was amazing. This is a $60 full bed frame. I thought it was cool. I love the footboard. I thought it was perfection. But then I went around and I was checking out the headboard, and it was a lot more beat up than I could see in the pictures on OfferUp. And I felt like the little wing details going on the headboard were just random. I didn't even think they belonged. So it was kind of annoying me. And then there was, I don't know, water damage or something on the headboard. And I just, at this point, I don't know, I'm just not interested in refinishing it, especially since the footboard was perfect. So then trying to match it to the footboard, I don't know, I just wasn't wanting to sign up for it. So I did wander around and looked at everything else in the store. And of course, it was fun. This is the piece I actually bought. I wasn't looking for it. It was an impulse buy. It's this glass front file cabinet, $150, but because it was a green tag, I got it 25% off of that. So this is the most interesting, beautiful file cabinet I've ever seen. I'm very impressed. The brand says it's Bombay Company, which is a good brand. And I mean, you don't have to put files, especially not in the glass front drawers. I might just put bedding in it or something, but I thought, I'll either put it out in the hallway outside of the new guest room, or I'll put it maybe next to the fireplace. And then I found this desk. Don't care for the poles, but I love the symmetry of it, and I love that trim detailing on the top. Only, what is it, $45? So I didn't get it, but maybe I'll go back. Probably gone anyway. And then the area rugs, really great price. I found some on the bottom shelf that I thought might be good. I thought the pattern was, elegant and neutral, and I really could do 3 different things, I feel like, on the floor. So right now it's Pergo. I never intended to keep the Pergo, but it was a workhorse with kids in that room. And so my thought is I'll either take out the Pergo. It does have the original wood floors underneath. I don't know what state they're in, but we could refinish those and then they would match the downstairs floors. I'm interested in a seagrass, like a basket weave seagrass, or jute or something, natural like that, in a wall-to-wall. I like to do that. That's a good solution in my mind in an awkward space where if you put a rug down, it accentuates the odd shape of the room. Or I could just do rugs. But I got back home and I wanted to delve into my wallpaper stash. I just have a lot of wallpaper samples, and so I just picked a bunch of them and put them up on the wall. I ordered a few more, but looked at sort of floral greens and some block print, some neutrals. I love North and Finch, but a lot of times I get the samples and I don't like them in real life. Either they're too matte, so you wouldn't be able to clean the paper, or the peel and stick, the colors are a little bit different than you think they're going to be. Peel and stick's more expensive too, but it's fast. You can just put it up. It's like contact paper. The other source I would recommend is Wallpaper Direct. An unbelievable, staggering amount of options. And the samples are free. I think maybe not all of them. I think you get like the first 5 are free. North and Finch is having a sale right now. And it may be ended. But they lately have been having a 50% off sale for their samples. And their samples are expensive. So get them now if you want. I just tried them all in all different spaces of the room. I like to see them in different corners. I like to see them kind of behind artwork, around windows, because the lighting just does change the colors. Things that you think look tan suddenly look pink in a room. And so you want to move them around. You want to see them at different times of the day. And then once I have that decided on, I know it could go a lot faster once I figure this out. I'm thinking that the sleeping side of the room with my mantle and my full bed idea, that would look really gorgeous, just completely wallpapered. The ceiling all the way. I really think that when you have these slanted ceilings, you should accentuate them with wallpaper and just make that sort of jewel box, cozy feel. There was the wall that divided the 2 rooms. I asked Colby about taking it out, but we think it's load bearing. So that makes me think, okay, I can't actually pull off this one room look. There really is a wall with a big cutout out of it. That's, it's trimmed out and everything, but it does have a different feel to the room. So I really should, if we can't take that last portion of that divider wall out, I really should celebrate the 2 different sections. And making the backside super cozy and inviting with the wallpaper, I think, is a good idea. On this left side that was Abby's old room, I love the built-in original beadboard closet, and I wouldn't want to match the room with everything beadboard on this side with like the desk and the seating area. So in order to create contrast and texture and stay with sort of this old, kind of a humble farmhouse that we live in, I probably would do shiplap. And don't hate me, because I know shiplap has been, overdone in a lot of houses, but I feel like it could work in this sort of attic-y space. I'm definitely in this, what I call the house whispering stage. It's step one of all design. You need to sit in the space. You need to pull in lamps and artwork and fabric and pillow covers and random furniture that's been floating around your house and see if you can't create a look that works in this room. So I just had fun pulling all those things together, and I'm just doing a lot of thinking, a lot of staring, a lot of taking notes. And you want to spend literally, I think 50% of your time should go into house whispering. And you as the homeowner, you have the best opportunity to make your space custom because you spend so much time in it. I hope that that is really encouraging news for you, and that you just enjoy the process that design takes. Thank you for watching. If you are new, I would love for you to subscribe. And otherwise, take care. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon.